Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and in this video we're breaking down the new teaser for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. After a big reveal at the end of episode 3, Dunk is stuck up Season 8's creek without a paddle. Throughout this video we'll be breaking down the first look and also discussing what happens in the book. So there will be major spoilers, heavy spoilers if you will mate, but I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let's play the trailer and then get into the breakdown.
I never meant to lie.
Yeah, but you did. About everything.
You laid hands upon the blood of the dragon. Arion would like your head.
A trial of 7.
What the fuck is a trial of 7?
You must find 6 other knights to fight beside you.
You may be wise to run.
Want to kill me if I run?
Want to kill you anyway.
Who will stand and fight with me? Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros? And there are no true knights among you!
Now we begin with the HBO logo in ye olde Game of Thrones silver before transitioning to Dunk in his cell. It's a far cry from the glory he's been seeking, and he's now at the lowest point in his life. Reminds me of how Jon Snow was framed after killing Dany and how Ned was shown at the start of season 1. He's shown by Egg, who's rocking his traditional Targaryen dress, which looks a lot like Dany's final costume. This is something a lot of the Targaryens wore, and it's basically what their dragon riding uniforms were. However, they've got no bloody dragons! This is why Aerion got so angry in the first place though. The Targaryens believe they carry the blood of the dragon, and some even think they're actual dragons themselves. This is a lot more prominent in the book though, where they even have purple eyes. But yeah, they're terrified about rebellion because they no longer possess the creatures that make people think they're gods. So something like a stage play where a dragon's slain by a normal knight, it's gonna seem like anti-establishment propaganda. Used to stir up the common folk it is, ye peasants. So yeah, that's why Aerion acted the way that he did, and Dunk's basically being made to use an example of. This is why he's so annoyed at Egg as well, because he knows that if he'd been honest with him, then he probably would have tiptoed around him. He doesn't know who he can trust, and we see him scoffing some bread while he slams Egg for lying about everything. In the next shot we then see Egg taking him before Baelor, which I believe will be a pivotal scene. We'll talk about what this leads to in just a bit, but Baelor's a really important character to the story. Not only is he next in line for the Iron Throne, but he's also not a complete dickhead and always hits a thumbs up. Anyway, this looks like a library and we can see bookshelves around it, and Baelor sat down at a desk. So I do wonder if they're looking over the Trial of the Seven Customs because it's an ancient type of trial by combat. It's so ancient that Maekor doesn't even know what it is, but it is something that someone can invoke. I do wonder if this scene is going to be positioned as well, so it happens after the following scene, but next in the trailer, if that makes sense. Speaking of that next shot, we see Dunk brought before the Lords. It's a mirror of the scene where Dunk went to them asking about Sir Arlen, but this time the stakes are a lot higher. Found it kind of ironic how he initially went there looking to be knighted so he could get some glory in his tourney. Be careful what you wish for though, mate, because that's exactly what you're gonna get. Aerion announces that he wants a trial by 7, which yeah, like I said, is an ancient custom that rarely gets invoked. It's bloody and brutal and requires 7 knights going up against 7 knights. It's thought that due to there being 14 knights involved that it will be such a spectacle that the 7 gods themselves will come down and decide the outcome because it's such a big event. So Trial of the 7 with 7 knights against 7 knights that's judged by the 7 gods. Now this is challenging for a number of reasons. Firstly, you need to get 6 others that are willing to join you in a battle that could potentially lead to their deaths. So getting that kind of support alone is tough as it is. Secondly, you need to actually win the fight, and with so many variables and shit people on your team, it could end up being difficult. Beyond that, Aerion's team alone is going to be far more intimidating and a lot more skillful. Some people genuinely believe that the Targaryens are dragons and that standing up to them alone will cause issues for their house. Anyone who sides with Dunk might be seen as a rebel and possibly punished for going against the realm. Plus, Aerion has highly trained relatives who've learned combat amongst the King's Guard. Even worse than that though, the King's Guard themselves can join Aerion and his gang, so it's going to be difficult for Dunk to convince people to support him. Now if you want to support the channel, then why not dunk your heads down below the video and look at the merch store there. There we have a whole host of Game of Thrones inspired shirts, including our Dead Dragons one, the Joust, Blade, and a lot more. We also have stuff for Fallout as well, and the more you get, the more of a discount you get on top of it. So we support you for supporting us in a way. Anyway, we next see Dunk going looking for 6 knights to join him. He walks through the rain at the tourney grounds and goes to the tent where he picks up the Florian puppet. Florian the Fool was both a knight and a fool, and the story very much reflects Dunk. I think it's at this point that he's also going to be given his shield, which Tanzel painted. This is an elm and a star on it, and basically represents the good luck he thought he'd get in episode 1. Tanzel is probably going to be gone for a fair bit, due to not wanting to spend any more time around these twatty Targaryens that basically broke her finger. But yeah, she's left a parting gift, I think. We don't see the shield at any point in the trailer, but yeah, knowing the story, I think it's going to be at this point that he gets it. Next, we then see him sitting with the Fossaways. Raymond gets a lot of focus in the scene due to him talking about Dunk being killed whether he runs or not. However, it's important to pay attention to Stefan here as well. We see the back of his head and he actually promises to aid Dunk in his fight. It's the first real sense that things might be turning, but it is quite short-lived. That is because upon arriving at the grounds, Stefan reveals he's switched sides. Aryans offered him a lordship in political favour, and thus he decides to join the other team, which leaves Dunk short 2 men. Now, I do think that you might be able to see him at the 30-second mark, as there appears to be a man approaching a horse that looks like him while Dunk looks pissed. Raymond's obviously really annoyed at Stefan though, because he basically promised this in the tent, and he decides to help Dunk in his fight. In order to do this though, he has to get knighted. Now, I do believe that we see this moment in the teaser, and we can see Raymond kneeling down while Lionel stands above him. Lionel too comes to Dunk's aid, and a knight can knight another knight, so he does the honours when it comes to Raymond. However, there's still 1 knight left, and thus it makes sense why Dunk's giving an impassioned speech at the end of the teaser. Now, if you're paying close attention, you might notice that Baelor's seat on the viewing deck is completely empty. This is right in the middle, with Lord Ashford's daughter to the left. This is because Baelor actually ends up joining Dunk, and he rides out to fight for what is right and true. Knights are supposed to protect the innocent, and thus he knows that Aryans in the wrong, and a piece of shit in general. It's a big moment in the story though that vastly changes the future of the realm, and he does this one right thing so that Dunk has a chance. During this, we also see a bit more of Dunk's side at the 32-second mark. To the left is Robin Riesling, who appeared in the last episode at the start. We also have Pate at the front, and he's the one who's armoured Dunk. At the front is Egg, and he probably has a lot of egg on his face from causing so much shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, we end with Dunk shouting at the crowd if there's any true knights amongst them. And it doesn't look good, mate. Anyway, that wraps up the video, and huge thank you for checking out the breakdown. Apologies for missing last week as well, but basically we did episode 2 throughout the week, had it ready to go on Sunday night, and then Sunday night I got to see episode 3 around when the trailer dropped, so I would have felt a bit disingenuous being like, oh, here's a trailer breakdown, mate. Wonder what could be happening in this episode that I just watched. So yeah, I'd rather just skip a week than lie to your face, especially with how great and true this channel is. The best, some would say, the best channel on YouTube, some people have said, whom are relatives. But it still counts, and you can show if you think we're the best channel on YouTube by dropping a like and a comment in the comments saying best channel on YouTube. If you want to follow us on Instagram as well and keep up to date with what we're doing, then make sure you check us out at Heavy Spoilers. Members, as always, get early access to videos too. For just 99 cents a month, you get a video like this. We're working on In the Mouth of Madness at the moment. That will be out either Wednesday or Thursday, but the edit's very close to being finished, so if you want to see that before anyone else, and watch American Psycho at the moment, yeah, they're 99 pence below. If not though, thank you for sitting through this video. I really appreciate you watching until this point, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you on Sunday, potentially, if you're holding off until then. You take care. Peace.